The name Sleepy Hollow conjures a very specific image: a lonely winding path, the rustle of autumn leaves, and the thunderous pursuit of a headless horseman. This isn't just a ghost story, it's arguably the most enduring American folk tale born from the quill of Washington Irving in 1820. But what if I told you the true history of this quiet Hudson Valley community in New York is even more fascinating than the fiction, and that the roots of its legend are steeped in real-life horror from the Revolutionary War? We're going to peel back the layers of Hollywood myth and look at the actual facts. The town is real, the places are real, and the inspiration for the Headless Horseman himself is grounded in the brutal reality of war and the dark history of the Hudson River Valley. This isn't about spooky fables, this is about the real people, real events, and the lasting legacy of a fear so potent it quite literally renamed a town. Find out today on this episode of The Daily Strange. Hello everyone and welcome to The Daily Strange, a special October 2025 video per day blitz of the paranormal, specifically cryptids, monsters, creepy crawlies, and the supernatural. I'm your host, John F. Mers, author, actor, adventurer. So, Sleepy Hollow. First, let's establish the setting. The fictional village of Sleepy Hollow is based on a genuine area of Westchester County, New York, nestled along the Hudson River near Tarrytown. For most of its history, the village was known as North Tarrytown. In a spectacular testament to the power of story, the residents officially voted to change its name to Sleepy Hollow in 1996. The core locations of the story are all authentic, Dutch colonial-era landmarks. The old Dutch church of Sleepy Hollow is one of the oldest churches in New York, dating back to 1685. It still stands today, and its adjacent burying ground is where many of the real people who inspired Irving's characters are laid to rest. The famous bridge that Ichabod Crane races across in the story was a real structure crossing the Pocantico River near the church. While the original wooden bridge is long gone, its original site is marked for visitors today. Even the characters have real-world counterparts. Ichabod Crane was named after a U.S. Army officer Irving met during the War of 1812, though his personality was likely drawn from a local teacher named Jesse Merwin. And the wealthy, beautiful Katrina Van Tassel and her brutish rival Brom Bones, whose true name was Abraham Van Brunt, were inspired by actual Dutch families in the area, some of whom are also buried in the old Dutch cemetery. The most chilling factual detail is the origin of the Headless Horseman himself. Irving describes him as the ghost of a Hessian trooper whose head had been carried away by a cannonball in some nameless battle. This is rooted in historical truth. During the American Revolutionary War, the area around Tarrytown was known as the Neutral Ground, a no-man's land fiercely contested by British and American forces. The British often employed Hessian mercenaries, highly trained German soldiers, who were notorious for their ruthlessness. Historical records confirm that during the Battle of White Plains in 1776, a Hessian artilleryman was, in fact, decapitated by an American cannonball. His body was reportedly buried unceremoniously in the churchyard. This real-life casualty, a fearsome foreign soldier buried in a simple grave just 10 miles from Sleepy Hollow, became the grim foundation for a local ghost story. The trauma of the Revolutionary War and the fear of these Hessian raiders fused into the spectral image of a trooper riding nightly in search of his lost head. It's a true American war ghost story. While the Headless Horseman remains a figure of folklore, the town itself continues to be a site of both historical preservation and modern life. The real incidents today revolve around the legend's immense cultural pull. Each year, especially around Halloween, the town becomes a massive tourist destination, drawing tens of thousands of visitors. The Sleepy Hollow Cemetery hosts popular nighttime tours and is the final resting place not only of Irving himself, but of famous figures like Andrew Carnegie and Walter Chrysler. This surge in tourism has led to modern-day Incidents like the logistical challenge of managing massive crowds, traffic control, and the occasional act of minor vandalism or trespassing, spurred by the desire to get too close to the legend. One notable modern incident, while not supernatural, was the 2007 fire that damaged the historic Old Dutch Church itself, a shocking event in a town so dedicated to preserving its history. The church was restored, but the event highlighted the frailty of these old landmarks. The enduring impact of the story is the transformation of a sleepy real-life village into an international symbol of Halloween and American Gothic literature. The facts, the Dutch founders, the Revolutionary War carnage, and Washington Irving's genius converged to create a reality that forever echoes its fiction. The Headless Horseman isn't real, but the history that gave birth to him most certainly is, and his shadow still falls over the quiet streets of Sleepy Hollow, New York. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of The Daily Strange as we get ever closer to the 31st of October. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new chilling episodes, and I will see you all tomorrow for another episode of The Daily Strange.